just a little bit so you feel a slight lift of your heart area. Just allow your legs to rest and become heavy. Now, a few of you are suffering from low back stuff. The problem with Shavasana is that because when we relax, our legs turn out, you're taking your lower back into a deeper back bend, which is not bad in and of itself. But if you have things like stenosis or other little tweaky things or any kind of back condition that doesn't like back bending, you could exacerbate it even though it doesn't feel like a big deal pose. The best thing that you could do, and you should just have handy all the time for your practice, is a bolster. Now you can get some pillows. Personally, I love blankets, stacked blankets, because they're more malleable. But a yoga bolster just sort of is, you don't have to think about it too much. Otherwise, you have to fold the blankets correctly and then stack them, etc. But you just would have something like that that elevates your legs enough so that then your lower back is dropping. Added benefit here is that the front of your hips will also soften. Now you can use blocks underneath your legs for sure, but blocks can be a little pinchy and ouchy. And in general, when we're coming to Shavasana, we're really trying to relax. So bolster or a few stacked blankets or even just pillows from your couch will work if you don't want to buy an actual bolster. And then when you start to move in your yoga practice, if you're starting like this from a lying down position, you work with the bolster. You just work around the bolster. You can pull a leg in, you can bring your feet to the bolster, and at some point it'll make sense to let it go and not use it at all. You'll just move it to the side, and then you'll bring it back when you lie down again towards the end of practice. So consider adding that in, especially if you have a tendency for your hips to get tight, your low back to get tight, or just back bends in general aren't so great for you. Right. Take a nice long inhale through your nose and an easy, soft exhale out of your mouth. Do that a couple of times. Now, say you have the bolster underneath you. Let's just all pretend that we're supported. So let your lower body stay neutral and only begin the upper body, which is inhale, arms reach. At the top of your inhale, think about stretching your arms a little more specifically. And then as you exhale, pull your ribs in, then lower your arms. So I'm giving you an extra step. Keep your lower body relaxed. Inhale, reach. At the top of your inhale, lengthen your arms a little bit more. Start your exhale, pull your navel in, then lower your arms. Inhale, reach. At the top, make your arms feel longer. Start your exhale, pull your belly in, ribs in, then lower your arms. Good, just repeat that here. Lower body totally relaxed and off duty. Exhale, navel to spine, and then the arms lower. Reach. Now, whether you have the bolster underneath your legs or not, you can start to point your toes as your arms reach overhead and allow your thighs to roll in a little bit because they've probably been rolling out in the relaxed position. You still exhale, navel to spine, flex your feet, and lower your arms. So now we're integrating the legs with the torso a little bit more specifically while we start to open up the ankle joint, the calves. Inhale, reach. Find your exhale, navel to spine, flex and lower. So it's going to slow you down to find your exhale before you move your arms. That's cool. Good. Let that happen. Great, Paula. Repeating here. Good. We're going to do about 2 more of these. And remember, as always, you can stay with this work. You're working your abs, you're lengthening your spine, you're opening your shoulders, you're working your ankle joint. You don't need to make it more vigorous to have it be um, good for your body. This might be just enough. Now, those of you working with a bolster, you might be able to just keep the bolster and do this full range, which would be exhale, knee to chest. So we're keeping everything the same. Now we're just inhaling, reaching. Still start your exhale so you feel your abs engage, knee to chest. If it feels a little weird to reach up and over the bolster, then bring your feet to the top of your bolster and do it from that perspective, which will have the added benefit of keeping your spine in deeper flexion. So when you reach your leg long, your low back is going to extend a little bit for most of us. If you keep the knees bent, you're going to have more flexion in your back, which if that's what you need, that's a better variation. That's why we usually start with knees bent before long legs. Usually I won't give you a long leg reach until we've warmed up. And then, of course, you can do this from long legs or 2 knees bent, both knees to your chest, both legs reach out, or both knees to your chest, both feet come down. So everybody can get a nice, strong sensation of working the abs with still paying attention to perhaps things that might be happening in your back that you need to be mindful of. Head can lift also, that will deepen the work. Especially if you're doing the knee bent, then lifting your head is going to make it feel more vigorous without introducing spinal extension. I don't care how well I do any of this kind of stuff, legs out, my back always goes into extension, which it's okay on some days, but on most days my back doesn't like doing that. So that's my perspective. There's a few of you that are very, very backbendy and very comfortable with that. So I'm not talking to you. I'm giving you the information, but I wouldn't say that you need to be extra worried about doing this kind of long leg reach stuff. Let's do about 4 more. So if you're alternating, 2 more each side. And these just trying to give you some general, of course, there's always unique situations, information, so that you can make the best choice for yourself in terms of how you're doing any given pose. Let's meet with the feet flat to the earth. And if you are using a bolster, if you put your feet on the bolster for bridges, you're only going to work a little bit more deeply in your legs. Now, if all I just said to you was you should do more spinal extension, let's all do it together, hands down. Go ahead, exhale, tuck your butt and roll up into your bridge. So you're minimizing the amount of extension that you're getting, and then keep your butt tucking under as you roll down. So you're taking the back bend out here, and we're preserving what we're really doing this particular work for is to warm up the lower body in preparation for all the things coming down the road. I'm not doing this in yoga terms because I'm putting a back bend in necessarily. So we're just going to roll up and down nice, Sydney, with the butt tucking under. And if you're thinking, well, I want to do more of a regular true back bend, then don't tuck your butt under. Your hips will land. Slide your shoulder blades underneath you. And then without tucking your butt, you lift your hips and lower your hips. So when you land, you won't feel your lower back on the mat. And there's so many reasons why the lower back can be wonky. From having C-sections, from facet syndrome to spinal stenosis to slip disc, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on and on and on. Most of us have something going on, whether we feel it or not. But there are workarounds, thank goodness. One more. We're holding at the top. Roll your shoulders back, walk your shoulder blades underneath you. Lift your heels up. Now, if you're on the bolster, it's going to be really hard. Lower your heels. Keep your heels lifted, lift a little higher, or lower your heels, lift a little higher. Does it feel better when you reach your tailbone forward, or if you sort of let your tailbone relax? Which feels better in your body? Which feels more stable? If you're ready to add a little more work, press into your left foot, reach your right leg forward for 4, for 3, for 2. Right foot down, reestablish the pose. Does it feel better to reach tailbone forward or relax tailbone down a little bit? Shoulders roll back, press into your right foot, reach your left leg forward for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring everything down. Added benefit of having your feet on the bolster is when you bring your right ankle, on top of your left knee, you're already getting a help to lift the legs towards you. Okay? Let's all do it together. Hands down. Exhale, just legs. Inhale, tap down. Now in this variation, we're working abs, and I'm using the strength of my left leg to push my legs towards me, which will also have the added benefit, good Noreen, of working your hip flexor, of creating some strength through the front of your left hip. 3 more. 2. Good. We're adding the upper body in, hands behind your head, still everything center. Exhale with a lift, chin reaching past your shin bone. Good, Elena, excuse me. Reach up. Exhale, squeeze in. 4, 3, use your leg to bring your leg in. 2, and 1. Bring your hands back down by your hips. Use your left leg to press your right shin close to you. This makes this a really active stretch. Let's just say your back was really like, today. This would probably be better, even though it's not as relaxing, because you're switching all your muscles on to hold the pose without your hands. If you want more flexibility work, reach your hands through, grab your shin or your thigh, and use some strength in your upper body to bring your legs closer to you. And just the caveat being that increasing flexibility doesn't always mean it's better. Sometimes increasing stability is the trick of the trade. A lot of times, take a deep breath in, press your left hip down a little so you're not rolling to your right. Go ahead, bring your left foot back down, hands by your hips, keep your eye of the needle. Scoop your tailbone under, unless you like the other variation where you don't do that. Lift back into bridge pose. Equally press your left shoulder blade down and hold. 4, 3, 2, butt comes down. Hug your right knee to your chest. Reach your left leg long across your bolster or just down the mat. If you're really not using the bolster, flex your foot so you keep your back a little bit more open. Slowly roll your right ankle out. Good. Go the other way. Good, Catherine. Good, Penny. Great. Bring your right foot on top of the bolster or to the mat. Cross your left ankle above your right knee, hands by your hips. Exhale, use your right leg to bring your left leg to you. Tap down. Right leg pulls towards the chest. Now, the more you can understand this concept of using your leg to move your legs towards your torso, the more you're developing strength and integration that you would need for any of those strong inversions. Anytime, especially a headstand, when you go upside down and you don't want to kick your legs up, you want to move your legs up with integrity, keeping your thigh, the idea that your thigh can stay close to your torso will turn on a whole bunch of muscles in the front body that supports those kind of poses. And you get the work here on your back if you want it. 2. And we're going to add upper body in. As you exhale, think of lifting your chin just a little bit above your own shin bone. Good, Sandy. I love that everybody's just moving. Really great, Barbette. Good, Stevie Ann. Slowly with the breath, taking your time. We're going to get to everything, I promise. 4, 3, hold your legs towards your chest, hands down by your hips, weight to your right hip. Not using your hands, you're building some strength. Using your hands, you're probably increasing range of motion. Your choice. Take a few breaths here. Place your right foot back down on the bolster or on the mat. Lift your hips. Eye of the needle bridge pose. Right shoulder blade tacking down. Tendency is to tip towards the leg that's bent. Lower everything down. Exhale, draw your left knee to your chest. Reach your right leg long, Ardha Appanasana. Slowly roll your ankle out. Go the other way. Good. Bring both knees all the way in. Reach both legs to the sky. Best of your ability, legs are on the straight side. If your low back or your hamstrings are tight, lift your hips and take your hands underneath your lower back. This will take some of the play out of the hamstring, still will allow you to get a lot of ab work. Separate your feet enough. Point and reach your right thigh down as low as you want to go. Flex and lift. So we're going to do yoga walks like we did on Monday. Inhale, point, reach down. Exhale, flex, lift. Nice and slow. Eliminate any of the rocks side to side in your lower body. This will keep your lower back safe. Option A is here. Head down, perhaps with your hands underneath your lower back. You can keep your hands under your lower back and lift up. Just make sure that you're looking up a little bit towards your feet and not forward so that you're not completely flexed in your neck. Good, Catherine. Let your legs turn in a little bit as you move. This will keep your lower back happier. If you need it to be more challenging, hands come out, palms up. If you need it to be more vigorous, go side to side. Boom, 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 boom. Good, Elena. Good, Molly. Nice, Shoshana. Good, David. Take your time. If you feel tired and you get the feedback in your lower back that your back feels tired, that's a time to stop. Take 2 or 3 breaths, and then you can decide if you want to go back in or skip it. We have 8, 7. So sometimes it's not that we are doing an exercise that hurts us, it's that we're doing it for too long. And these are all things that can change on a day-to-day basis. 2, sometimes it's too many reps, sometimes it's too long. Sometimes if you break it up, it's better. Bring both knees into your chest. Separate your knees, or even take your ankles and feet into your hands for a full happy baby. Root your lower back down. Experiment. Does it feel better to reach your tailbone forward or to let your tailbone curl in? So for years, lots of yoga teachers always saying tailbone forward to preserve the arch in your lower back. And I always thought, God, it just doesn't feel that good in my lower back. It's almost too deep of a stretch because I'm flexible. So play around with it. Does it feel better to tuck under a little and feel like your back is flatter, or does it feel good to introduce the arch? And it might be an in between idea. Deep breath in, full breath out. Bring your legs back through center. Let your legs drape over the bolster or relax completely out into Shavasana. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Take 2 breaths here, letting everything absorb. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth.